Hi everybody, Matt back with you. Hope you're okay. Today I'm currently in Pecket Well, up on the hills above Hebden Bridge. The story today takes place October 30th, 1920. So the day before Halloween. But for a number of families who lived in this area, a nightmare was about to come true. In a town not far from here called Colne, just over the other side of the hill, there was a game of Knur and Spell about to take place. Now, Knur and Spell was an old-fashioned game, mostly played on the hills of Yorkshire. Not too dissimilar, I suppose, to hockey. It's where a ball, known as the Knur, was thrown into the air, and people, men essentially, would use sticks, known as the Spell, to try and hit the ball as it came down. So a group of people, about 30 in total, decided that they would head over from here in Pecket Well via Cockhill to Oxenhope to get to Colne to go and watch the game. They started their journey from here. So they met here at the Robin Hood Inn. I guess had a few drinks before they started their journey across the hill. For transport, they decided to use a Charabanc or Charabanc, which was an early version of a bus. So this is a picture of a Charabanc. You can see why it's like a bus. It's like a big open-topped car with many seats. So this particular one that they took, as I said, had housed about 30 people. Heading over the desolate Cockhill Moor, the Charabanc started the descent into Oxenhope and had just about reached the church of St Mary's. Then disaster happened. The brakes of the Charabanc failed and it crashed into a wall on the corner by the church. These pictures were taken at the time and show the extent of the damage to the Charabanc. And it may seem a bit macabre to us today. These pictures are actually taken and sold as postcards. And tragically, 5 people lost their lives. All 5 victims of the Charabanc disaster are buried here, Wainsgate Cemetery in Old Town. The memorial service took place in the chapel on the 7th of November 1920. All 5 victims had been buried during the time of the 30th to the 7th in the graveyard. 4 men and 1 lady. The 4 men all worked at the former Acre Mill site, or what's now the former Acre Mill site, so the service was packed with work colleagues, etc. One of the victims, John Turner, who was 43, is currently in an unmarked grave and sadly lost to time. Maybe over time they can find where he's buried. Husband and wife, William and Alice Kershaw, were also both killed. There is no official headstone for them either. There is just this little stone that says JF, and it is believed that they are buried here. The next victim was this man, Percy Rowe, who during the First World War had served in India. He's actually got a Commonwealth gravestone, which you might not be able to see because of the light. So you can see it says PB Rowe Sergeant, the Royal Engineers. You've got the date there, 30th of October 1920. I think his wife and child are also in this grave. And it's interesting finding this grave because it is directly next to relatives of mine, Dent Parker, who 100 years ago next year was responsible for the Pecket Pike Memorial. And the fifth of the victims is this one, William Ogden from Pecket Well. And again, it's not very clear, I'm afraid. It's a very frosty gravestone. But it says William Ogden died October 30th, 1920, 56 years old. And that grave is next to another Commonwealth War grave, which is worth mentioning, I think. Only 2 weeks after the tragedy here with the Pecket Well to Oxenhope Charabanc, another Charabanc going from Skipton to Burnley to Turf Moor to watch football crashed near Barrow Ford. Another 4 men were killed, plus a boy 16 years old. All 4 men had survived the First World War, only dying tragic circumstances. And not surprisingly, not long after these events, the Charabanc started to disappear from the roads. Certainly not very safe to have so many people in one vehicle with an open top. Again, the crash in Skipton was to do with brake failure. So that finishes our story here in Wainsgate Cemetery. On its centenary of its event, council here did commemorate the event happening and brought it back into public attention. I said I thought it was worth another revisit today. Take care, guys. We'll see you for the next video very soon.